Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a topic that is absolutely vital to every single person who clocks in for a shift, sits at a desk, or operates heavy machinery. We are unpacking the brand new 2026 National Guidelines for Occupational Medical Examinations and Health Surveillance, straight from Kenya's Ministry of Labor and Social Protection. If you've ever wondered exactly how your health is monitored and protected at your job, beyond just filling out a mountain of HR paperwork on your very first day, well, you are definitely in the right place. Right out of the gate, I want you to ask yourself this pretty provocative question. Is your job actually protecting your health? We spend a massive, literally a huge portion of our lives at work. And the reality is that modern workplaces carry some serious risks. Today, we're exploring these new Kenyan guidelines that essentially act as a definitive map for how to stay alive, healthy, and really thriving at work. This isn't just boring bureaucratic red tape. It's a highly systematic approach to your well-being.
Okay, let's dive into this. The foreword of these guidelines perfectly sets the stage here. The world of work is rapidly evolving. We aren't just talking about your traditional factory hazards anymore, right? We're looking at the gig economy, remote work setups, and even emerging super complex risks like nanomaterials. Because these hazards are constantly evolving in complexity, the way we assess and protect worker health has to evolve right alongside them.
Section 1. The Blueprint for Worker Health.
And this brilliantly illustrates the official cover of the massive regulatory document we are demystifying today. Published by the Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, or DOSH for short, this represents a fully unified authoritative reference. It's mandated and anchored heavily by the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 2017. Before this came along, medical surveillance kind of varied widely across different workplaces. Now, there's a clear, standardized rulebook for absolutely everyone to ensure you are fit for duty.
Section 2. A shared responsibility.
Workplace health isn't a solo endeavor. It's a really delicate ecosystem. And central to this ecosystem is the Designated Health Practitioner, or DHP. You see, you can't just go to any random neighborhood clinic for an occupational health exam. A DHP is a specific medical professional officially approved by DOSH. They are ethically bound to assess workers impartially. Their job is to use approved protocols to figure out if you're medically fit to face the very specific hazards of your daily grind. If one party fails their duty here, the whole system of care breaks down.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the direct contrast between what your boss owes you and what you owe your boss. The employer has the strict duty to cover all the costs of these medical exams and to schedule them during work hours so you don't lose a single cent of your pay. But on the flip side, you, the employee, have a duty to provide a completely honest medical history, yes, even about that weird reoccurring knee pain, and to consistently use the provided personal protective equipment. It is absolutely a two-way street.
Section 3. Core Ethical Principles.
This is exactly where medical guidelines intersect with your fundamental human rights. Out of all these ethical pillars, two stand out as absolutely critical: confidentiality and informed consent. Your medical info is strictly protected under Kenya's Data Protection Act of 2019. Your employer only gets a summary of your fitness for the job, never your private medical details. Plus, informed consent is non-negotiable. You have to be told exactly what is being tested and why before a DHP proceeds. And critically, these exams can never, ever be used as a tool for unfair discrimination.
Section 4. The Examination Life Cycle.
Let's move to and see how this builds. We're going to take all these dense bureaucratic rules and ground them into the relatable timeline of your everyday career. This timeline maps out the 4 key milestones where medical exams intersect with your journey. First up, the pre-placement exam on day 1. Then, periodic exams that happen regularly. Next, return-to-work exams after an illness or injury. And finally, the exit exam on your very last day.
So let's break down what actually happens on day 1 during that critical pre-placement exam. Before you even touch a piece of equipment, you undergo a medical history review, a physical exam, and sensory screenings like vision and hearing tests. The goal here is simple but absolutely vital: to establish a baseline of your health and make sure you can perform your specific new duties safely without causing any harm to yourself or the people working around you. The ultimate output of that pre-placement exam is the Certificate of Fitness. This is a crucial, formal document issued by your DHP. Based on your exam, this certificate will classify you into one of 3 distinct categories: fit for placement with no restrictions, fit with conditions, which might require some workplace adjustments, or unfit for the role if the health risks are just simply unmanageable.
Next up on the life cycle are the periodic health examinations. These are vital annual, or regular checks, designed to monitor your health status over time. This is especially critical if you work in high-risk sectors like mining, transport, or healthcare. The main objective here is early detection. Think about it. If a worker is slowly losing their hearing due to factory noise, the periodic exam catches that deterioration early on, so preventative action can be taken right away.
During these periodic exams, the specific tests you undergo are directly targeted to your job's exact hazards. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. If you're regularly exposed to noise, you'll get a functional test, like audiometry. Working around heavy dust, you'll get a spirometry test to check your lung capacity. But if you're exposed to hazardous chemicals, you'll require laboratory tests, like liver function checks or blood lead levels, to search for any internal, systemic effects.
Now let's briefly look at the back half of the worker life cycle. Return-to-work exams happen when you've been away due to a severe injury or illness. They assess your recovery and figure out if you might need modified duties upon your return. Finally, the exit exam happens on your absolute last day on the job. This establishes your final health status, basically closing out your official health record to ensure no work-related illness goes undetected as you leave.
So, the crucial point is, why does this all actually matter? Well, the executive summary of the guidelines nails it. It's all about reducing the massive burden of occupational diseases. By detecting risks early, companies dramatically reduce compensation costs, improve productivity, and create sustainable workplaces that actually align with broader national goals, like Kenya's Vision 2030. It's a true win-win for both the economy and the human beings driving it.
Which brings us to our final thought. I want to leave you with this question to chew on. How will you view your own workplace health differently starting tomorrow? You are now armed with a really clear understanding of your health rights, your employer's responsibilities, and the ethical blueprint designed specifically to protect you. Please, don't take your workplace safety for granted. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to take an active role in your occupational health. Catch you next time.